Mark here from the band 6 Foot, based out of Red Deer, Alberta, Canada, once again. And so now I'm going to go on to step 2 of building my rack unit slash in-ear monitor system, whatever else you want to call it, that's fine. So what I need to talk about first, before we start anything, is series and parallel effects. Now, series effects are a pedal board, essentially. And I have my pedal board down here. So let's take a look at it real quick. And I will show you. So most of these are not necessarily connected together, but this particular line right here, I have. So this line selector then sends a signal out, goes to the X stomp over here. This is actually slightly wrong at the moment. Huh. Okay, now that that's fixed. So this channel will go out to the mixer, and the other channel comes over here into the tender octaver, up to the ultra shifter, and over to the Joyo California, and ultimately over to the power tune. And the power tune is basically just an off switch for this particular chain, on-off switch, so I can mute that if I want to. And so that is a series effects loop. It's from one pedal to another, to another, to another, to another. And that's in series. If one of those pedals goes down, for instance, say one of them like completely lost power, if it's not true bypass, then you're going to lose all your signal out of there. Now I believe, so the Harmonist I believe is not true bypass, but the California is. I'm not sure about the tender octaver actually. That's beside the point. That's kind of beside the point. You're going to lose your signal if you don't have anything that's not true bypass and the signal's not going through. If it loses power on a buffered bypass, you're going to lose that signal. That is one example of a series effects loop. Basically, you plug into one side of it, you have a whole chain of effects, and your output is on the other side of it. That's a series effects loop. So what I am doing with my rack unit and with the mixer is that I am essentially creating a parallel effects group, quite a large number of parallel effects. What that means is that all those signals, they have basic separate inputs and separate outputs. And then they all get mixed together at the final end of the chain, but they all have separate controls and separate inputs and outputs. So that's the idea, using the mixer to do that and to have multiple signals going out. Part of the reason I'm doing that is because I am playing bass. And with bass, you don't want to lose that bottom end, especially on a clean signal, for instance. If effects have a tendency to steal frequencies here and there. Every time you run your signal through an effects pedal, there is a chance that no, not even a chance. You are going to lose frequencies in certain areas, depending on the quality of the pedal, what the pedal is actually doing to the signal, all kinds of different things that are happening in that signal chain. So doing a parallel effects unit is a way of not so much avoiding that, but you're always able to put the frequencies back in that might get stolen by effects units. And again, that's extremely important for bass. That's why bass overdrive pedals have a mix knob, because those are still serial effects, by the way. They just happen to have a little mini mixer on board. So what it is that that's a parallel effects unit, more or less, inside of a serial effects line. Because what happens is that your signal gets broken up into two, and then you're able to mix them together. So that was a bit of a long explanation for serial and parallel effects, and we'll leave that as step 2, as to explain why I'm doing what I'm doing, and then we'll move on to step 3, which is actually, starting to build each one of these parallel effects chains. All right, so please check out 6footband.com and take a look at all of our social media links on there and our demos. Our demos are aging a little bit. We've updated the songs quite a bit from what we've done. So hoping that we'll have some final versions coming out eventually. But thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for whatever. I better do that again. But anyway, I'm not going to do it now. I'm tired.